class, it's Mrs. Lacefield again. Today we're going to talk about story problems in math. And in story problems, at least in third grade, there are four basic operations that you might have to do. Now, in third grade, we work on two-step story problems. So that means you're not just going to do one of the operations, you're going to do two of them. Okay, so first let's talk about what those operations are and how you know which operation the story problem is asking you to do. Okay, so here are our four different operations. First one is addition, which we mark with the plus sign, just like this. Second one is subtraction, which we mark with a minus sign. Okay, so those are the first two. So those are the first two that you learn in math, and we've still been doing a lot of work with that. Then this year we learned about a third one, which is multiplication. We mark it with the times sign, and then division is the very last one. So division is marked with the division symbol. Okay, so sometimes when we're doing story problems, it's kind of hard to tell exactly which operation it's asking you to do. So something that we look for is these little catchphrases. And catchphrases are just words that give us clues as to which operation it wants us to do. Okay, so here are some of the words that you'll see that mean you should do addition. And by the way, you are going to have a short quiz about this later today after you watch this video. So if I were you, I would get a piece of paper and a pencil and copy down this chart. It will help out so much. Okay, so please do that. If you need to, pause the video, grab a piece of paper and pencil or a whiteboard and marker, come back and get ready to go. Okay, so for addition, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things that could say that lets us know it could be addition. Now, occasionally there will be other phrases as well that could mean addition. So that's where you need to read through the story problem and ask yourself, okay, what makes sense? Would it make sense if I'm adding these together? Would it make sense if I'm subtracting them, if I'm multiplying or dividing? So sometimes you need to just, sorry, lose my voice a little bit. Sometimes you need to look at what's asking and ask yourself what makes sense and see what logically would happen. Okay, but here are some words that help you have a clue. It just gives you a clue as to if it's asking for addition or another operation. So here are the words. So the first word is sum. Okay, this sum is spelled S-U-M. Sum just means the answer to an addition problem. We've also got more than. Okay, so that's two words together. That's a phrase. Okay, more than could mean that it's asking for addition, right? So if it says, I have 20 basketballs and Jimmy has 5 more than I do, how many does he have, right? You do 20 plus 5, which means he has 25. He has 5 more than me, so that lets you know that it could be addition. You've also got the word total, the word increase, the phrase, sorry, not word, the phrase in all or all together. Sometimes they'll say all together, but the word all in there is very important. Okay, and then plus, right? Sometimes they'll just ask you, what's 5 plus 10, right? And then you'll have to figure that out. So if it says one of these words, it lets you know that you're going to be doing an addition problem. Okay, then we've got for subtraction, here are the words that will let you know that it's subtraction. The first one is difference. Difference just means the answer to a subtraction problem. Okay, so like I said, sum means the answer to a addition problem. Difference means the answer to a subtraction problem. So we've got difference, less than, which is kind of like the more than, right? Just the opposite, because subtraction is opposite of multiplication, or sorry, subtraction is the opposite of addition. So if it says that I have 15 cookies and Michael has 7 less than I do, how many cookies does he have? So I would do 15 minus 7. The answer is 8, so that means that Michael has 8 cookies. And you guys know Michael's my husband, and he does not want to have less cookies than me. So that's just an example, though. So we've got less than, decrease. also means that we're taking away. Decrease, fewer could mean subtraction. So if it says that someone gave away, or if you're going to take away, oh, come on, have space. There we take away. Kind of see that says away. That also means subtraction. And then minus can mean subtraction. Okay, so from now, or sorry, from the beginning of your schooling in kindergarten all the way until third grade, you were working just with addition and subtraction with your story problems. Okay, so this year we introduced multiplication and division. And here are the words that let you know that's a multiplication problem. Remember, multiplication is when you're looking at groups of something together. All right, so the word that means the answer to a multiplication problem is product. Okay, so product. If it asks you for the product of something, product always, always, always means multiplication. In fact, if you don't know some difference product, and then I'll just write this in right now. For division, it's quotient. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. And I've been using these terms all year. Hopefully, you have caught on to that so far. But if you don't have those memorized, that sum means addition, difference means subtraction, product means multiplication, quotient means division, you need to memorize those ones at least. So product means you're multiplying. Then we've got the word times, which we talk about the word times quite a bit, right? We talk about our times tables, what 5 times 3 is, all those different things. Okay? If you look at the word each, sometimes that will mean multiplication as well. So it might you might have a story problem that says, I can only think of things for like buying things at a store, okay? So, for instance, let's say you're planting a garden and it says that tomato seeds are $5 each and pumpkin seeds are $7 each. So, if, right, the word each is like, oh, we're going to have to do multiplication. So, if you buy 2 tomato seeds at $5 each, how much money did you spend on those tomato seeds? So you'd have to say, okay, 2 tomato seeds, $5 each. 2 times 5 is $10, right? So that's how we'd solve that story problem. Then also the word of, and this will make more sense as you go throughout your schooling, of a lot of times will mean multiplication. Now, sometimes of is just a word that we have to use in the English language, right? So just because you see the word of in a story problem doesn't necessarily mean that it's a multiplication problem. But if it says, especially with fractions, that you're taking a third of a number, then that means you're doing a multiplication problem. Okay, so this one doesn't quite apply to third grade yet, but you will need to know that in the future. And then the last one, which goes with of, is groups of, and this is where you will see it more in third grade. So it might say that you have 5 groups of 8. And then, if I have 5 groups of 8, I'm actually doing a multiplication problem, right? I could draw it out in as an array, or I could draw it just with the little groups. And I could figure out how many I have. So these are all the words that let you know you're doing a multiplication problem. Then the last one for division, I don't have quite as many phrases that would let you know they're division, but obviously quotient, the answer to a division problem. We've got the word divided by, which, by the way, you can see that has the word divide in there. So anytime you see that it has the actual word in there, like if it says multiplication or multiply, division or divided by, subtraction or subtract, addition or add, it will let you know that that's the operation you're supposed to do. And the last one is split equally. Okay, split equally or divided equally, separated equally, something like that. That's letting you know that's separated into smaller groups, but into equal groups. You know that that's division. And I showed you guys how you would do that if you had, sorry about my voice. If you had groups of, I believe that I took the little tile blocks, right? And I divide them into equal groups. right? Equal groups. That lets you know that you're doing division. So I'm going to give you guys some more lessons about how to do two-step story problems. But this is the first part you need to know. We need to figure out which operations we have to do. And like I said, in two-step story problems, you're going to do two problems in that story problem, which means that before I get the answer, I might need to add and then add again, right? So that's two steps. Or I might have to subtract and then multiply, divide and then add, right? Any of these, but I would have to do two of them. Sorry. So I gave you an assignment yesterday just to see how you're doing with those two-step story problems, and we're going to go over them some more in some lessons. Please make sure that today you take the time to do the Operation Quizzes. Sorry, Operation Phrases Quiz. This will let me know that you paid attention to this. If I were you, I would keep this right by me for the next about week or two while we're doing math story problems. And I'll talk to you a little bit later. Please comment below the video, below the quiz to let me know if you have any questions or if there's something I need to clear up. But I'll talk to you later.